Sir, this check doesn't look right. The words hung in the air like smoke. Malik Hayes stood quietly at the counter of Hamilton Trust Bank in downtown Chicago, presenting a $180,000 business deposit check. He wore a charcoal gray suit, maroon tie, and calm confidence. But the young teller, Emily, barely glanced at his credentials. Her fingers froze above the keyboard. "I need to call the manager," she mumbled. Malik didn't flinch. He'd been here before. Different branch, same look. Manager Sanders arrived with practiced smiles and probing eyes. "This is quite a sum," he said, inspecting the check like it might bite. "Where exactly did you get this?" Malik met his stare. "From my firm. All documents are valid." But the way Sanders waved over security said otherwise. And just like that, suspicion replaced service. Customers watched as Sanders pulled Emily aside, whispering. Moments later, Malik heard it. "Call the authorities," quietly. Emily hesitated. "Are you sure?" "He's stalling us," Sanders snapped. Malik looked down at his ID still on the counter. "You could have just asked me," he said quietly. "That's not how protocol works," Sanders replied. But it wasn't protocol. Malik knew that. A white man in a Brioni blazer had deposited $300,000 20 minutes earlier without a blink. But now, a black man in a tailored suit was a maybe? Then came the twist. Sanders picked up the phone and said the word out loud. FBI. People started whispering. Phones came out. Malik folded his arms. He had nothing to hide. But inside, something cracked. Again? In public? "What are they expecting to find?" someone asked. "A criminal," someone else murmured. 15 minutes later, the glass doors opened. Two men in dark suits walked in, badges flashing. But they didn't head to the manager. They walked straight to Malik. The taller agent extended a hand. "Director Hayes," he said, "we weren't expecting you here." A hush fell over the lobby. Emily gasped. Sanders blinked. "Director?" "Retired," Malik corrected. "Just here for a deposit." The younger agent turned to the crowd. "This man served our country for 22 years. You called us on him?" Malik didn't say a word, but his silence was louder than any lecture. He picked up his ID and check, then turned to Emily. "You should know better." She looked down, shame in her eyes. Sanders stammered, We didn't know." "You didn't ask," Malik said. Emily ran out moments later, shaken. "Mr. Hayes, wait." He stopped. "I didn't know who you were," she said. I thought I was following policy." Malik looked at her, quiet but firm. "That's the problem. You saw a threat, not a client." She handed him a handwritten note. "I quit. I can't pretend this is normal anymore." He didn't open it, just nodded. Back inside, Sanders was trying to salvage the moment, but it was too late. The Bureau released a statement that week. The bank had been removed from the agency's trusted financial network. No headlines, no scandal, just silence. And then whispers. By Friday, the bank's name was off the office wall. A week later, Malik stood backstage at a financial equity summit in Washington, D.C. He wasn't there to accuse. He wasn't there to be praised. When his name was called, the crowd stood slowly. Not because they had to, because they understood. "I walked into a bank last week," he began. "Not as a threat, not as a case, just as a man." He paused. "But for some of us, existence is suspicious. Truth is optional. And respect? It's on back order." He looked out into the room. But silence doesn't mean weakness. Dignity doesn't need a badge. The crowd listened, really listened. And as he stepped off the stage, someone whispered behind him, just loud enough for him to hear, "They'll never question your worth again." Malik Hayes didn't fight back with anger. He responded with presence, truth, and quiet power. His story reminds us that dignity isn't granted, it's claimed. In a world where prejudice still echoes through polished lobbies, his calm strength became a mirror for justice. If you believe stories like this need to be heard, don't forget to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more powerful stories.